Hello everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Monday, January 27th, 2025, and this is Flosstube video number 35. So, no stitchy mail this week. Didn't purchase anything, I've been mostly pretty good-ish. I've been trying to use paychecks to buy the things that I need for the projects that I'm starting this year, but that's really it as far as the purchases that I've been making. Um, I don't think that I remembered to actually show you what is this? Krynic. The Krynic. I don't think I remember to show you the Krynic that I bought last week for my mermaid. I have not used the blue yet. I'm not into that mermaid, but this is how much I've used so far of the orangey, corally, unicorn mermaid that I'm working on. All right, so let's go ahead and get into my projects. I will start with project number 1 is the one that I'm calling my favorite designer project. I don't know if I've said in a while, and I know that I said last year when I was starting my YouTube channel, not starting it, but bringing it back and actually regularly posting, doing Flosstube videos. My main goal was to create things for the fair, and my Teresa Wensler, my Blackwork, those two were specifically for the fair. And then I thought if I got the Heaven and Earth Designs one done in time, that would be an excellent one to submit to the fair. And then the stash piece, I didn't really think of that as a fair piece. That's just, to get stuff out of my stash. Well, I'm getting a really big glare today on my glasses. Sorry about that. So favorite designer for me is one that I feel is definitely one that I want to submit to the fair. And the different categories will have to depend on the different fabrics. So that's kind of why I'm all over the place on fabric and not really sticking to a specific fabric. It's because ultimately I want to submit my favorite designer pieces into the fair. So for this year's fairs for 2025, there's one in, I haven't looked up the dates yet, but last year it was in June, and then the other was at the end of August into the beginning of September. So there's enough time for me to submit it into both fairs, get the first one back and then, take it to the second fair. So there is enough time that I can hit up both fairs. One is the county fair and then one is the state fair. Again, I don't know yet what the dates are on those. And the state fair took forever to actually nail down the dates and, all that stuff. So anyway, that is my main goal for favorite designer, and that is to ultimately send them to the fair. My sampler / Blackwork, my project number 2, that is also specifically supposed to be a fair piece. The county fair does a Blackwork category, and then the state fair does a sampler category, and so that's why I'm doing both. And then my wish list, that was just subjective, and it's like, one of my favorite things to do is just sit there and, oh, I love that heart. Oh, I love that heart. Oh, I love that heart. And so like my Etsy list is humongous, and my Hirschner's list is humongous, and my Heaven and Earth Designs list is humongous. So wish list is sort of like, I really want to work on these. I'm not getting any younger, so I might as well do it. So it's very subjective. And at first I just kind of said if there was a wish list, then it's open. But now I'm just sort of going to be like, it's something that I want to do. And once one of my projects is done, then I can just rotate in a new thing. So it's just any project that I wish to do. And then my fourth project is the Stash Buster piece. Those are all pieces that I have been carrying around for forever, or last year when I would get stitching mail. So I've got stuff in my stash, and I turn 42 next month, so I need to really start getting into my pieces and getting them done, or else my children are going to have to deal with what's left over. So, bringing it in, let's start with project number one. Favorite designer, and this time it is the Bella Filipina, the Daughters of Estuary. Oh, and this is the last week that I will be working on this for a while. I believe Friday. Yeah, Friday is the 31st. So Saturday and Sunday, I'll probably spend like all weekend floss dropping everything, getting everything, getting the fabric situated in their hoops, or in the case of this giant one, I'll be taking this one off and sewing the new one on. So, like there's a lot of preparation that's going to go on this weekend, and I probably will only start the Mirabilia this weekend, but we'll see. I might try to very consciously be like, yeah, no, I need to get something on the fabric. So, anyway, project one is Daughters of Estuary by Bella Filipina. And okay, yeah. So the fabric that I'm using is Volcano stitching. And let me see. What can we see? It's Volcano stitching. It's called Poseidon. I am doing this on 18 count Aida. This is an Opal fabric. I don't know how well you can see it in here. All I'm seeing is a glare, so I don't know how well of the shine you can see here. I know down in the basement, you can see the sparkle on the replay, but I think the kitchen lighting is just not perfect. So let's do it here. Okay, so here is where I've been working on. I've just been bringing everything up. This is her hair, different shades of blonde or light brown. This is like an armband, I think. I did the Karen part, the water lilies, and I did the Krynic in here. The only thing that I haven't done on that is the beads. And like this is part of her elbow, I guess. So that's where I am. I'm kind of hoping that by Friday I at least get it, like this whole area filled in, and like because this is hair here, and this is part of her chest, so I think it comes up and then like into her face. So I'm hoping to get this section filled in by Friday before I stop working on it and switch over to the Mira. And so for this one, this week from January 20th to the 26th, I put in 11 hours, 17 minutes, and 42 seconds. So it's brought my total project time to 39 hours, 55 minutes, and 43 seconds. Let me get it set up for the next one. Okay, so project number 2 is the sampler. I'm working on Dutch Beauty, and I am up in this top left corner area. This has so much fabric. It's so heavy. So here, oh, shadow. There we go. Here is where I am. The few times that I did get to work on it this past week, I've just been working in the tree. I did this other bird here, but I brought the tree down. This is part of the tree trunk, and then it comes up, and then there's more tree, and I think at least one more bird here. And then like it comes down, like there's still more to this page, but I've almost finished this page. So this is the 14 count fabric that I dyed myself in the Dye With Me video. And so I only got to work on it really like 2 times last week, and it was for 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 18 seconds. So the one day I only got 88 stitches in, and the next day I got 142 in. And so total, goodness, total project time is 11 hours, 14 minutes, and 35 seconds. And then because I did pull this into Pattern Keeper, so like here's the bottom of the page. So I do still have more on this page to do. And I am at 1,824 stitches into it. I don't know how many stitches total because the way pulling it into Pattern Keeper did, it's giving me like, it's saying that I have like 245,000 stitches, but that's counting every single block and not just the ones that I stitched. So it's a little off on the total number, but it is keeping track of the ones that I'm doing. So project 3 is Tilton Crafts, Winter in the Shire. And this is artwork by Candamar, and it says Licensed Creative Fabrica. So this is the one that I'm doing by color completion. And I really wish that I had paid more attention to the pattern before deciding this would be the one that I would do color completion. Because the color is white. White on white fabric. I have so much trouble seeing, and I complain about this week after week, but I have so much trouble seeing my progress. Here is where I started. Here is where I am. And not that you can tell yet, but this area that I'm stitching is starting to be fun. It's not solid blocks. So I know it's so hard. Looking in the camera, I can't even see my progress on this. I might just have to put in a still image so that you can actually see something. That is a 25 count easy grid that I got from 123 Stitch. This was the first time I'm using an easy grid, and because I'm doing the color completion, it's really, really been helpful. I just wish this were any color but white. To me, it blends in too much with the fabric that I can't see my progress, and so I'm not really enjoying this as much as I was hoping. Any other color, like the next color that's has the most amount is it's a gray tone, it's a soft gray, but there's only 6,000 stitches of that one, whereas when I started, this one was at 19,000 some stitches, and so I have really brought that down. So for this past week, I only got to work on it an hour and 42 minutes and 58 seconds, and that has brought my total project time to 12 hours, 35 minutes, and 10 seconds. Each day that I worked on it, like I got 60 stitches in, then I got 129 stitches in, then I got 122 stitches in, and then 66. So I'm kind of all over the place, and when I can stitch and how long I get to stitch for, I feel like this is the one that when I sit down to start stitching on it, everybody suddenly needs me. My husband's like, come to the kitchen. I need help with this. One of my daughters is like, I need help with this. Or the other one is like, Mom, the other one's annoying me. And I feel like anytime that I try to work on this, it's very interrupted. And so it's very scattered. So my total I'm up to is 2,689 stitches out of 122,500. And I am at 2.20%. I'm going to do a little bit of a push this week to see just how many, like today, because it's my filming day, I don't get much of the normal things that I wanted to do. Like my normal daily schedule day to day, I don't really get to do that on my filming days. And so because I'm not getting to my normal daily things, I'm also not getting to my normal daily stitching. Normally, I'm lucky if I get to the stash piece because that's the one that's in my car when I go to pick up the kids. So that one is usually the first one that I touch on a filming day. And then my favorite designer one is the one that is right at my bedside. And that's the one that I work on before going to sleep. So that one generally gets the most work on it. I would call that one my primary project. So today, because my whole day is off, I'm going to work on stitching this one and getting as much into it as I can today. And since it'll be coming off the hoop on Friday or Saturday is probably when I'll actually take it off the hoop. My my goal is to try and get as much done on it this week. I mean, today is the main push. The rest of the week will get the normal amount. And then for next month, I want to try to divide the number of stitches up by the number, not next month, the next time I work on it, which will probably be in May. And then I want to divide the number of days in May by the number of stitches left, and then try to get this 3865 done. I'm over this off-white color, so I just need to get it done as quickly as possible and move on to the next one. So that's sort of the plan on that one. And then the stash piece, where is that one? Is that this one? No, that's my mirror. This one. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So then project number 4 is my stash piece. And this is not one that's been in my stash for very long. I just repurchased this a few months ago, but I know that I started this piece when I was still in high school, and I know that I got halfway done on it, but I have no idea where it is, and I know that I never finished it. So this is Candamar Designs, and the designer is Christian Reese Lassen, and it is called Silent Journey Picture. I am using the kit fabric and all of the kit floss. And I'm really hoping that this one does not run out of thread like my Bustilla, because I don't know that Candamar Designs is still in business. I would really have to check. I'm honestly not sure. I will check that out to see if they're still in business. But I haven't seen a Candamar Designs kit in ages. So this is what I'm working on. This is the one that sits in my car. I work on this while I'm waiting for the kids to get out of school. I'm waiting for this, or I'm working on this when my oldest is in Kumon and when my youngest is in gymnastics. And because gymnastics is now part of the mix, I'm actually getting a lot on this completed. This one's moving pretty quickly. Like, I'm almost sad that at the end of the week, this one is being put out of rotation, but I feel like I have had amazing progress on this. I don't know how well you can see the blue that shows up, but it comes all the way up to here. I know this is my left edge, and because this is a full coverage design, it's coming straight up. So now I'm just sort of trying to find my top. And then once I find my top, I can fill in, the things. So I'd say that I'm half done with this quarter. So what's half of 25%? Anyway, this is a paper pattern, so I don't have any stats on it, other than how much time I've been spending on it. So there, I have started using a little bit of the filaments down here in this pink area. And again, there's some here in this flipper, and that comes a string. Yeah, I still have a piece of string on the needle. As I said, when my kids are coming, I'm just like, okay. And I stop my timer and I take my daily picture, and then I just leave it where it's at. So this one, I got to work on it a total of 3 hours, 56 minutes, and 44 seconds this past week. And that has brought my total time to 11 hours, 15 minutes, and 33 seconds. So, yeah, that's fun. I do need to be careful, though, with this pattern because there's the fold right here, and then I folded it in half, where the halfway point is in the pattern. So I do need to make sure that I'm careful with this. Also, something that I dislike is you can see how thick this line is for the back stitching. There's not a lot of back stitching in this piece, but the palm trees are all done in back stitch. And then there's some houses down here. I don't know how well you can see that. There's some houses. And so there's a little bit of back stitching in that house. But the back stitch lines are so thick that there are times that it's hard to see what the symbol underneath is. And so, like, right down here in this section, I kind of had to guess at some of the symbols. And I'm just like, I hope I guessed right. Okay, so so that's it for my 4 projects that I'm mainly working on. But because the switch is happening this week, and I do want to try to get at least a few stitches on. I will show you what I'm switching everything to. I think I have everything. So for project 1, I will be switching from my Bella Filipina to the Mirabilia. I'll be doing the August Peridot Fairy. And the fabric that I got is from Bestitch Me, and it's called Wild Bouquet. And this is a 28 count Opal Lugana. And I really need to study the fabric because there's a bright spot that I'm going to try to hope that it aligns up with her scepter. And then project 1, project 2, I will be switching back to my sampler piece. So, not sampler, the Blackwork piece. So I will be switching back to this one. That is Pentecost by Practical Blackwork. And then project 3, the wish list piece. I'm going to be working on Nene Thomas, Waterfalls of Jade. And right now, these are the floss that I have. This is the floss that's left over, that was left over from the dragon that I did, the Teresa Wensler, the dragon. So out of all of those, these are going to be used in the Waterfalls of Jade. I still need to get the majority of the colors. It's an 88 color design, and I probably have like 15 of them here. So I do still need to finish getting those colors, and I also still need to dye this fabric. I will be dyeing it this week, probably on Wednesday. That's a day that's not overly busy or anything else. And so in this picture, this is a full coverage design, but I hate stitching on white. And I've said it before, I refuse to stitch on white, cream, ivory, those off-white colors. I refuse to stitch on it because that's all that I was stitching on when I was younger. So I'm going to be dyeing it, but I'm going to be dyeing the whole fabric instead of it being like modeled like I was before. And this picture, her tail is done in a lot of purples. So I decided that I'm going to dye the fabric like a light pink. I'll be using this dye. And then just the whole thing will be a light pink. Probably like one of the lighter pinks that's up here in this cherry blossom in the corner. And then project 4, where did I put it? Here it is. The Stash Buster piece is also one that has not been in my possession for very long. I did get this in the past year. But I will be doing the Indian Peacock by Dimensions. And this will be my first like big Dimensions kit. I have a little ornament that I made that was a kitten that was a Dimensions kit. But this will be my first big Dimensions kit. I will have to see how this floss organizer is. Right now, I don't think that's going to hold up to me. I might need to floss drop this. But, oh, that's interesting. There are little notches below the color to tell me how many there are of that thread color. This fabric is not white. It says that it's natural Aida, so I'm going to leave this as it is. I'm not going to bother dyeing this. It's not quite a full coverage design, but there are effects in the picture that's going to make it look like it's modeled. So I don't want to dye the fabric and it ruin part of the effect of the stitching. Like you can kind of see shades here. That's all stitching. It's not full coverage, but it's 95% full coverage. So, it's a really complicated piece, which I do like complicated pieces. And so those are what I'm going to be switching to for next month. Working on all of those for the month of February. I do know there are 2 days next month that my kids have off on Mondays. It's for President's Day and then the following Monday after that. So I will be recording on Tuesdays for those weeks, provided there's not a snow day in February. The snow days sort of really, it's harder for me to get the filming done. The youngest one really likes to be where I am. So we'll have to play it by ear for those months. And then in March is spring break. And it's definitely hard for me to stick to my regular stitchy routine during spring break. So again, we will have to play that by ear. But right now, for January, I've been really good about keeping up and making sure that I've been posting every week. I'm still trying to figure out the projects for me to incorporate into the Uno game that I want to play. I have figured out the majority of the rules. But I have it down to a crochet project, the diamond art project, a monk's cloth slash Swedish weaving slash huck weaving project, and it's the fourth one that I can't quite figure out what to do. I do have more crochet pieces that are half done or partially done or whatever, but I didn't want to do too many. I didn't want to do two crochet pieces and then just end up getting bogged down with having to get crochet stitches or crochet rows in. So I'm still just trying to figure out that fourth project. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw in like a small crochet or, oh, I've got plastic canvas stuff. Maybe I can do a plastic canvas project like coasters or something. I'm still trying to figure it out down my stack, or yeah, my project room, my craft room. Everything is down in there, and so I just need to figure out that fourth project. But I don't think that I'll be starting my Uno game this weekend. I will try to film some of that so that you can see what I'm doing, but it's not anything in depth. It's just something that I want to try to get more stitches or drills or something done on my other projects. There's not enough time in the day to do all the things that I want to do. There just isn't. If there were two of me, I might be able to accomplish it. Maybe, but goodness, who would want two of me? Anyway, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a dye with me video for dyeing the fabric for the Waterfalls of Jade. This is a 22 count Hardinger. Not really sure if there's a brand of it. I need to double check which way it goes, but yeah, let me know if you want to dye more fabric with me, and I can do another live video on Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll just dye it by myself. I know that my process is very boring, so I don't want everybody to be bored tuning into it. So anyway, I will see everyone next week. Will it be next week? Is it next week the kids have off? Let me look at my calendar really quick. Nope, I'll see everybody next week for the first Monday in February.